Our brains control our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. But sometimes it's hard to understand how and why our brains make us do the things that we do. And this is especially true of young kids who experience stress and trauma. Under typical circumstances, the frontal cortex is involved in thinking and planning and helps you regulate your emotions and behaviors. When under stress, the body releases chemicals and hormones like cortisol that prepare the body to fight or flee. These responses can overpower the thinking and planning processes happening in the frontal cortex, taking over our behaviors. Social worker Michelle Fallon gives an example of what happens when we're under stress.
I'm driving to the car wash. My 18-month-old is in the car seat behind me, and somebody pulled right in front of me, and I let fly a word, folks, that if those synapses had been holding hands between that arousal part and my thinking brain, that word would not have come out in my mouth with my toddler in the back seat. He proceeded to repeat it with perfect inflection for at least a week. But that's an example of under stress, it's different. It's different. What are the experiences that the children that we're working with may have had? What has influenced the way they respond in their environment and the trajectory their development is on?
These experiences of chronic stress due to trauma changes how our fight and flee system operates. Without supportive adults who help them regulate their behaviors and calm their emotions when experiencing stress, children's stress systems remain on longer. Children also learn to expect threat and may be hypersensitive to potential threats around them. As a result, children may have difficulty regulating their emotions and may express more extreme and surprising behaviors in the classroom. They may also perceive threat where none exists.
If my experience is I get hurt, that anybody touching me is an aggressive move and that triggers that response, then somebody tripping behind me and falling into me, wham! I'm going to assume that person's trying to hurt me as opposed to, whoa, what happened? Are you okay? So again, it's those perceptual distortions that happen that I'm going to interpret anything ambiguous as consistent with the experiences that I've had. And so when we think about kids who may not have those underpinnings of shared regulation, it helps us understand behavior. It helps us understand why that 2-year-old bit when someone took her book, when she knows better.
So how do you handle the challenging behaviors of children in your classroom?
We want to be able to begin to attach feeling words to children's state because they're just experiencing a state of arousal, whatever that may be. And if we can give them that whole, you know that feeling that you're feeling, that has a name. And if it has a name, maybe we can name it and tame it. If it has a name, then that tells you that, I get it. Oh, you're disappointed. You thought it was your turn. Oh, as opposed to going right for the, don't push your friend. It's not your turn.
Naming children's feelings gives them a way to begin to express themselves through words and helps them to tame their emotions. But what about other kids in the classroom who see those challenging behaviors? What's it like for them?
If we measure the cortisol levels on those other children in response to the kid who's misbehaving, they're really high too. They're going, oh God, what's going to happen? Oh man, how's this adult going to react? But we don't think about those other children when we're responsible for this child in this moment, and it's a pretty crucial situation. So it's helping Steph say, well, what do you think it was like for the other children when that kid called you that and was so angry? Wow, well, I bet that was scary for those other kids. I bet they were wondering, how is she going to respond? Are we going to get hurt? The other staff can use that as a teaching opportunity. Oh, you know what? He's having a hard time. But see, his teacher's helping him. She's keeping him safe, and we're going to keep you safe too.
For more information on creating trauma-sensitive environments for children who are experiencing stress, you can find many great resources at these links, or visit the Extension Children, Youth, and Family Consortium's website for more information on our programs related to traumatic stress. And as always, thanks for all that you do for children and families.